Hello and welcome to the Creative Kobold. I'm Gyra. Today we are going a little bit outside the world of miniatures, but not completely, as we are going to review the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden Platinum Edition by Beadle Grimm. The Platinum set comes in 3 parts. First off, you have this main set, which comes with the main adventure as well as some handouts and other neat little trinkets. Secondly, you have this box, which comes with a load of pre-painted miniatures by WizKids, specifically designed for this adventure. And finally, you have this large tube, which comes with a whole bunch of maps and scrolls. Let's first dive into this main box. Alright, so this is the main box of Beadle Grimm's Platinum Edition of D&D Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden. Let's open up this box, and this box is huge. I can barely fit it in the frame of the camera. Open it up like this. First up, we have an introduction and the contents of the box. Nothing special about it. Other than that, it does include some credits and some useful information. I'll just leave that open on the side there. Here we have several battle mats. These are cardstock, so they are a bit durable. You can fold them out like this. They are also double-sided. So these are very nice. You can use these for various encounters in the game or in the adventure. So you got some buildings stuff on the one side, and you got open landscape on the other side. This one's got a bit of trees and stuff like that, and another building, some stables perhaps. Very nice. So those are a total of 4 of these. And you can probably put these together as well. Let's try it out with just put them together like this if you want to. So you'll have larger maps. All right, very nice battle mats. Can definitely be used for more than just this adventure as well, if you're running other adventures in Icewind Dale or other icy places. Then we have the Dungeon Master screen. Let's see here. Let's first have a look at the art of it. Here we have one of the 10 towns. Then there are other pictures on the side, some adventurers going through the darkness of the forest, and going towards a large keep, it seems. Some sort of stronghold. Very cool looking. And the inside has a character guide. That's very interesting. It has the names of the characters, how you pronounce the names, that's very, very nice, and a description of all the characters. Then you have a random wilderness encounters, 10 towns rumors, ragged tribes, extreme cold, frigid water, slippery ice and thin ice rules, a full map of Icewind Dale, some overland travel and the time it takes by walking or by dog sled, and some overland travel, mountain travel and winter survival gear rules. So here you have all the status effects, which we are used to. So that's a very nice DM screen. Also notice that it, unlike most DM screens, this DM screen is upright. It's taller than it is wide when folded together. So it's a bit taller than usual and a bit shorter in length. So slightly different than normal. Then we have the actual adventure. I'm just gonna open this real quick. So instead of getting one giant book, you get these 6 smaller booklets. That way you can focus on just the adventure or the part of the adventure you're currently on, and not having to have a large tome in front of you. Not going to go deeply into the actual adventure, but this one is Welcome to the Far North, Chapter 1, 10 Towns, Bremen to Caer Konig. Then we have also Chapter 1, 10 Towns, Dugan's Hole to Tourmaline. And here we have Chapter 2, Icewind Dale. This is Chapter 3, Sunblight, Chapter 4, Destruction's Light, and Chapter 5, Oriel's Abode. And here we have Chapter 6, Caves of Hunger, and Chapter 7, Doom of Ithrin. And finally, we have one booklet for the appendix. And there is some very nice art on these. All right. Moving on, I believe we have some handouts. All right. First off, we have a deck of cards here. This seems to be a deck of NPCs. Or encounter cards. Oh yeah, this is encounter cards. So here are some descriptions for various encounters. And not just combat encounters, but a lot of role-playing encounters. There's one like for a Drizzt fan and an escaped prisoner, and so on. I'm not going to go into detail to avoid spoilers there. Those are very cool. Then let's have a look at these nice cards. Oh, there's a lot of nice art on these. I think, are these just ice cards? I believe these might just be art cards. Nature Spirits by April Prime. So yeah, just lots of awesome art. They are sort of double-sided. There are 2 pieces of art on each, and they're just folded. And on the back you can see the name of the piece as well as who illustrated it. Lots of interesting stuff here. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there are a lot of these. Could definitely hang these on the wall. Nice quality as well. Okay. Then there is a map of Icewind Dale, or at least the 10 towns, with some travel routes and some trails. So that is very nice. On the back we have, oh, here we have a lot of interesting rules. Flight time, destruction time, casualties, dragon. Lots of very interesting rules there with the DM. And here we have another piece of art. Goat Ball. Goat Ball is a team sport similar to dodgeball. It uses a furry misshapen ball made out of stuffed goat hide, and also requires a dozen or more elevated platforms, usually pillars or tree stumps, arranged in a random pattern. That's funny. There are actual rules for playing Goat Ball. Alright, let's have a look at these. This is just a piece of paper. Or no, it's, here we go. To the thieves that stole the lantern from the northern light. Okay, so that's a nice little thing to hand out to players. Then we have a tests of the Frostmaiden scorecard. Test of cruelty, test of endurance, test of isolation, and test of preservation. There's some skin with the words "help me" carved into it. Of course, this isn't actual skin, it's just paper, but it looks like skin, which is very nice. Another letter from Copper to MacLeod, it seems. These are very nicely printed, and there are different types of paper as well. Here's a smudged piece, part of a book, written in Draconic, it seems. Someone get out the, I think it's Player's Handbook that has the languages, so you can translate. Here we have a poster for the Tourmaline Gazette. Okay, so this is a newspaper thing. Miners wanted. Is sacrificing warmth enough? New moon approaches. 5 mine safety improvements we need now. Okay. This could definitely be some fun reading. A lot of this stuff just helps a lot with the world building, I feel. Here we have a letter that I assume this is supposed to be the wax seal, and there are a honeycomb with 2 bees. The bi-weekly buzz, or the bee-weekly buzz if you want. Attack leaves good meat without a voice. Mind your own beeswax in the mead hall. Alright. I imagine these are probably hanging up on notice boards and stuff like that. Moose expert wanted. And some of these are definitely connected to adventures, encounters, and quests. Bremen, where ice meets water. Public notices right below. Tired of the wandering life? The lake has treasures for those who would kind of hard to read, who would got them. If anyone has seen Speaker Dorbelcroft. Wow. Okay. It's kind of hard to read some of this because there are strange names and weird grammar. Buy one, get one. Bryn Shander Bulletin. Weevil finds a cold cell at Revel's End. Hunter boasts bet for the Red Yeti. Powder puff will leave you rough. Wet your whistle with a shot of Flamebeard's fire brandy. Well, that sounds good. East Haven Ledger. Sunken pirate ship makes land. Ferry service frozen. Red wizard goes up in flames. Watch thy pouch. Oh, and this looks very nice. The 20 Stones of Thrun. Formation of ancient stones older than time itself. Who placed them here? What magics do they hold within them? And what's with the triangle? This seems like some marketing. Very nice. And then we have, let's see. This is some very nice looking art. I like the style on this. Oh, interesting. This is a ritual thing, or yeah, it's definitely a ritual of some kind. Let's not read any of that. But yeah, very, very cool stuff. Now, let's see what's next here. There's a lot of stuff. These seems to be playable characters, pre-made playable characters. So we have a dwarf cleric called Rethvar Iron Striker, a half-elf druid called Feroline, a drow rogue called Zeralez, a human sorcerer called Chich, and a Goliath barbarian called Olenoka. Okay, I'm gonna Oligonathakula. Olenoka Oligonathakula. Alright, so that could be nice for new players. There's so much stuff here. This is just some art, very nice looking art from what looks to be a temple. Here's a map of Bryn Shander, a map of East Haven, a map of Bremen, a map of Targos, Lonelywood, Tourmaline, Dugan's Hole, Goodmead, Caer Dineval, and Caer Konig. So these are all the 10 towns with maps of all the 10 towns with some points of interest pointed out. This is very nice for the players to have. And on the backs you can see you have the weapon shield of each town. Then I believe we have some more art. Lots of nice art. Can't argue about that. Oh, but we have some stuff inside these. Are these small encounters? Oh yeah, bonus encounters. Well then. The Blood Knight. Burnt Ends. Lyra's Knight. And Walker Stalker. Here we have some Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms stuff. There are some codes behind here that you are not going to see. Yeah, just a piece of, just an ad basically. So here is an Adventures League Yeti type companion thing. I'm not going to show the code there. So this lets you use the Yeti type as a familiar. That's interesting. And this is just a piece of cardstock. Okay, we got through all the handouts and such. Or that bundle of handouts. This, I don't think I'm going to open it. This is simply a whole bunch of cards with different stats for various encounters, various creatures and such. Yeah, I don't think I need to open it, but you can see on the back here you have Kadroth, who then uses the Cult Fanatic stats. There is information about this NPC on the back here as well. So these are very nice to have, and you can just put them up behind your DM screen. So you have them on hand. You can just have the ones you need for the part of the adventure you're in. And also, I think it makes things a bit easier. Instead of having the various books and leafing through them, you got just those cards there. So here you have the Northlook Tavern pin with a Troutlope on it. Here you have a Shield Guardian amulet. Looks worn and very authentic. This blue one is the Chardalin amulet. Yeah, it seems to have some resin, sort of looks like ice in it, which is very nice. And here is an Arcane Brotherhood pen. So now these guys are gonna be there. And finally, you have this Chardalian Dragon token. Very cool looking. Alright, and that's it for this main box, but we still got some more items to look through, because there is also a very large tube of maps and a box of miniatures. And let's take a closer look at the maps and scrolls that you find in this tube. Alright, so here we have the map tube for the Platinum Edition of Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. This is a very large tube, and the contents within are even larger. So let's see if we can fit some of it on this table here. First off, we have some smaller items. There we go. Got some nice thread around these. Let's see. Here we have, whoa, Keir Danival notices. For sale, 1 dog sled, slightly used. Lost our young son. Ever wanted to own your own business? Experience the exciting world of tavern ownership? Do your civic duty. That harbor isn't going to thaw itself out. Help wanted delivery person for monthly food shipments. Lost our triangular amulet, decorated with sword. Yeah, we know which amulet that is. Has great personal value. Ready to leave? Admit it, you're miserable in Keir Danival, but maybe you're too scared to cross the frozen tundra alone. We feel the same way. Alright. So this has definitely a lot of role-playing potential, and potentially some story hooks in here. Let's see if we can get this back into this piece of string. And it's cool to see that they use these types of paper, which almost feels like, I don't know, it feels very rough. And you have this string and everything to make it look very authentic. Here's a different one. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is a spell scroll. Oop, there it goes. This is a spell scroll. I believe this is the Scroll of Tarask Summoning. That's a high-level spell for you. Don't want to mess about with that. Use at your own risk. I believe this is gained in one of the final 2 chapters. It would be terrible if anyone gained that at an early stage of the campaign, at least. And here we have the Targos Chum. Lake news that you can trust. Another spy apprehended. Bureau's boat insurance stops covering ice damage. Triglio axe beaks now available. Oh, that's interesting. 2 healthy domesticated axe beaks for purchase. Nice. Expedition to Kelvin's Cairn. Alright, so Another bit of newspaper here. There we go. And now for some very, very large maps, and maybe some smaller ones as well. I'm just gonna put this tube to the side here. It's an interesting map of a necropolis. Gotta say, this looks very... Yeah, I think this is a Netheril thing. Then we have a very large map of Icewind Dale, including all the 10 towns here. You have the Spine of the World down here. Reghead Glacier, Sea of Moving Ice, very nice. Also, both of these are on canvas, by the way. So that's pretty awesome. Now here we have, this is paper. This is a playable map for your miniatures. This is just one part of a larger map. These are double-sided. You can see there's more to it. These are very, very big. I'm going to have to fold those up. Like that. Move those to the side. Here we have Idiolartha's Study. Nice looking map, although I will say that the map is a bit large, even though it has these nice decoration around it. Of course, you can use that extra space to hold the map down, because it's going to need it. Oh, and on the back you have the Grove. I'm not going to show absolutely everything here in detail, but yeah, this seems to be Auril's abode, I believe. It has another map on the back. More of this place, also double-sided. Here we have the 10 towns. This is still paper. All the maps of the 10 towns here. Very nice looking. And finally, something a bit smaller. Another map of Icewind Dale. This is also very nice looking. And all the 10 towns are marked with their weapon shields. That's pretty cool. This is perhaps a bit easier to read as well. All right, so this was definitely a bit unwieldy, but we got there. Well, let's try to put this back in the tube. Now, let's get into the miniatures that comes with this set. Finally, we will be looking at the contents of this box, which is the miniatures box. This simply contains miniatures within. I'm not going to open it like the other stuff. I'll instead just show you close-ups of all the miniatures. This does not contain all the miniatures in the set, just a selection of the miniatures from the WizKids pre-painted set. So that's the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden Platinum Edition by Beadle Grimm. This set costs roughly $500, and it's quite on the expensive side. However, you do get a lot of stuff included. Is it worth it? That kind of depends on you. Personally, I think it's an amazing set. Includes a lot of stuff that I would like to have in my games. Would I pay for another set like this? I don't know, we'll see. Maybe if they got some very cool miniatures in it. But tell me what you think in the comments below. And as always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.